Hello, my name is Nick Caldwell, and today I'm going to be discussing why there's a future with AI and why our corporations should incorporate AI technology into our company. My agenda for today is first, I will give an explanation of what artificial intelligence really is. Following that, I will talk about how AI is currently being used in the world by other competing companies. Then I will give a discussion about why AI matters to us as a company. And then I will follow up with the ways that we can implement AI into our company and tactics for doing so. So, what exactly is artificial intelligence? It has been coming up lately in news that large corporations have been using it. They've been rolling out things such as Siri and other things like that where companies use AI technology. But what exactly is it? So, AI is broken down into a few ways. First off, it's a section of computer science in which computer science creates kind of the beginning for AI. It uses machine learning and intelligent machines in which AI can actually start to grow within itself. Type of examples of this include such things like voice recognition, which you see in Siri. It's kind of that aspect of when you talk to your phone, it'll pick up on what you're saying and then it'll give you suggestions. It can also run algorithms behind the scenes where it can pull up websites for you or pictures or whatever it may be. Even simple things like calling somebody off of your phone just based off of your voice recognition. And not only does AI do all those things, but it also remembers what it's done. So that's another aspect of AI is it's always learning and planning for the future. So things like when you talk into Siri or something like that, you can set a calendar for the future. You can also use it additionally so it'll start to track your habits. So, for example, AI knows when you go to the grocery store or when you go to the gym. If you go around a typical time throughout the day, it'll start to pick up on those things and almost set you reminders that you can go to those things. But not only does AI remember things through only voice recognition and habits, but it also is a problem solving tool. AI can be used in many different ways, from a calculator to finding you the answer to many solutions. There's an endless amount of ways that AI is being used to solve problems and track multiple things on many scales. Currently, based off of the statistic from the PCM mag on cybersecurity applications, based off of 2018, for AI in the world, detecting security intrusions is the top application that it was used for. Based off of this, companies typically used about 44% of their AI technology in detecting and deterring security intrusions. Being a company that's growing, there are always going to be constant threats with technology and other companies competing and chances of being hacked or whatever that is. The fact that AI can develop a security system that's constantly learning and growing itself is in there. The possibilities are inevitable for what it can do for your company, saving employee information, saving statistics, and always learning and growing off of those statistics with just push of button, with just a few push of the button, or even voice recognition. But why does AI matter to us as a company? So first of all, looking at other companies, why they have that implement AI right now, there are multiple large companies such as Google, Facebook, Yahoo, Microsoft, LinkedIn, Dropbox. Any of these large companies are currently using AI in multiple ways. The reason why they're using AI is because it comes with so many different things. For example, predictive maintenance is one of the aspects of AI. Basically, predictive maintenance is using detailed sensor data and different algorithms to deter the real signs of problems within your machines or parts of the machines. The thing is with this is it can save huge sums of money compared to changing out your machines on regular bases and worrying about them getting worn down and they stop failing and then you're behind on production. So it not only saves time, but it saves money. Two very important things. Also, these technologies keep track of human assets and professional assets as well. Another aspect of AI is that it uses image analysis and tracking. There's been a pretty sharp rise with deep learning algorithms, which kind of can interpret complex images. For example, like oil companies can scan barrels and make sure they're labeled correctly, or sponsors of a certain sporting event can get analytics on how their logo appears on a video. There's multiple different avenues of how image analysis and tracking can be used with AI. Not only this, but text analysis and classification as well is a very large section of AI. It uses that machine learning that I was talking about earlier, which can be used to take different text messages, images, whether that's from social media sources, emails, and many different things such as like electronic documents as well. And it can classify and sort that information to make it useful. Basically, it's taking that raw information and making it and using it in a way that our company can actually analyze what is going on instead of just having heaps of information that takes days and hours of employees going through it and sorting out and trying to find a connection when AI can just do it almost instantly. Not only is AI important to us, but it also needs to be implemented correctly. The first recommendation I would have with our company to implement AI is, first of all, we just need to get familiar with it, with what AI really is. As a thing that's always constantly adapting and growing, what it actually is going to be constantly adapting and growing. Hopefully there were some things out of this presentation that grew more on that helped grow more on that knowledge, but even things like online courses, Google searches, educating employees is a great start to getting people familiar with AI within our company. Not only this, but we also need to, if we're going to implement something like AI, we need to have problems that we want to solve. For example, how can something like natural language, which is just taking that information and storing it somewhere, how are we going to incorporate AI into a company? Like, what exactly needs to be solved? Do we have a security issue problem based off of 2018, like so many companies clearly have because they're using AI in that direction? Or do we just need more data to be stored and collected in areas so we can be using it as raw data? Not only this, but we also need to figure out the value of AI. Sometimes things can be expensive, so we need to know what financial value we have in our AI and how can we implement it in a way that's not going to cost our company too much money. Following this, we also need to know our internet capability gap. So what exactly do we want to accomplish with this AI? Kind of going back to identifying our problems, what is the need for what we're trying to achieve? And also, how long do we want to spend on this? Because sometimes AI can take a while to implement. So we need to know what our time constraints are and also what exactly needs to be accomplished with this. Going further into it, we also need to make a little pilot project. So basically, kind of a small breakdown project, something that we can test with AI. That way, we're kind of aware with what we're doing with our AI, and this can happen after we make sure all of our organizational and our technological standpoints are ready to go. Once we have that, then we can start with a small project to test out AI before we start using it on our entire company. And that way we can avoid risks and problems that can come with not doing a project correctly or putting in the wrong information. And speaking of wrong information, our data is huge. Before we're going to implement something like machine learning and AI into our company, we need to make sure that the data that we're feeding it is clean data, something that can be used in an area where the machine doesn't have to fill in null values and whatnot. Because if that's happening, then how are we going to figure out something that we don't know? We have to have the information for that. Also with this, once we do have that information, going back to the pilot project, we do need to have more small projects where we can test our AI and our implementation tools before we send it across the entire company. If we don't do that, then we are going to run into problems where things there's always things that arise that are unaccounted for. So testing it and making sure that happens is good. Once we follow these steps, we can incorporate AI into our company and start to reach towards those Fortune 500 companies that we're striving for. The combination of all these factors that I have listed above is going to be essential in us installing AI into our company. With that being said, AI will bring so much to our company and it'll help us go to the next level. So let us introduce this like the Fortune 500 companies before our competitors catch on.